Well, good morning. Happy Tuesday. This doesn't even feel like real life. It is the first day of my new quarter, and I just got home last night from my trip to England, which I vlogged and I'm in the process of putting together now. And today is like, I just keep singing that song. What is that song? It's like, back to life, back to reality. That's like all that's going through my head. So thankfully I am not seeing clients today, but I do want to like jump into my email and figure all that out because I am jumping in somewhat back tomorrow. But if we haven't met yet, hello, my name's Tiffany. I am a mental health counseling grad student, and I vlog my life as a grad student and a parent to 4 and kind of what that's like doing all of those things. So today, what we have coming up is my first research methods class, and I am pretty upset at the offerings of times for when this class is available this term, and I have like all the times were terrible. And so I am taking this class from 7 to 8:30 every Tuesday for the next 10 weeks. And Tuesday nights we spend at a friend's house. We get dinner, all of us, our kids just all really love each other. It's just like the best thing ever. But we're usually wrapping up by 7, so I'm going to need to get home by 7 every Tuesday to sign into this class. My other options for this class were like right during school pickup time or when my kids already have appointments. Like, it was just bad. I really prefer early day classes, but there just were none. The earliest was like 2 in the afternoon for me. So that sucks. It really, really sucks. I will have one of my good friends from the program in the class with me, which will hopefully make it a little better. I'm going to try to ease back into reality. I did get like 4 or 5 referrals while I was on break. The first half of spring break, I was actually in Shenandoah National Park with my family. We had a wonderful trip there too. And I kept seeing like all these emails pop up and my supervisor being like, don't worry, no, but everybody knows that you're on break and that you're not going to reach out to them until next week. But yeah, I have a lot. I think it's going to be really hard. We're going to be jumping in with both feet for sure. So, feeling a little discombobulated today. Thanks for coming along. So, I am checking my laptop. I'm curious to see. Ooh. So, I just plugged it in a little while ago. This is hilarious. And I didn't check the battery before I plugged it in, but it looks like it was pretty close to dead. And I get to procrastinate work more because it needs to be plugged in, and I don't want to move it to where I need to go to check my emails. So I'm just going to let it charge a bit longer, and I don't know, maybe take a rest, maybe take a walk. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm not jumping back into work just yet. Yay! You guys go in, see what daddy wants you to do your homework, maybe take out the trash, all those things, and I'm going to start my class, okay?
How about me?
You can ask daddy what you should do. Spots at this place?
Yep.
Does preschool get kind of crazy sometimes? Oh, all right. Let's put you want me to put your lunch boxes in there. Can you get it out?
Yep.
Whoa, hold on. All right. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I am hitting the ground running this morning. I'm about as busy as I get as far as like my internship days. So I have a 9 o'clock appointment, a 10 o'clock appointment, 11 o'clock supervision, which I'll say more about in a minute. And then I'm pretty sure I do have a lunch break from 12 to 1, so that's good. And then a 1 o'clock appointment. And then at 2, I leave to get my kids from school. So we survive the morning drop-off, and then I'll be pretty busy until then. It's a little after 8 right now. But my supervision is going to be a little different. It's with a new supervisor that works at a different private practice, and their private practice focuses all on children. So I am going to start seeing kids starting next week, and my practice doesn't really see kids. I think a couple teenagers maybe, but because they don't, I'm actually seeking additional supervision for that like child piece, just because I think it would be beneficial, and the practice that I'm working with offers really affordable supervision for grad students, and so I'm kind of just utilizing that opportunity. I'm looking forward to that, but yes, it's definitely, the day is getting off to a busy start. Last night was my first research methods course, and that was a lot of information. It is reputed to be a very overwhelming class, and that is what I am feeling. So research methods, you always take it your second to last quarter of school, and the main, like the final project in that class is creating a research study. You don't have to do the research, but you create a study as though you were going to do it, design a study. You find a special topic that hopefully you're passionate about and excited about, and that then becomes your capstone paper and presentation in your final quarter, which is next quarter. I can't believe it. So, it's a big thing. And then on top of it, it's just a lot of other assignments. There's a really in-depth, like, annotated bibliography that's due in the midterm, that is like where you're getting all your articles for that final paper, and then also weekly article critiques that I thought were the same that you use for your annotated bibliography, but they're not. They're like assigned articles that you have to critique, which kind of stinks. I wish you could like kind of just kill two birds with one stone. And then there's also weekly quizzes, which I'm really disappointed because I actually got locked out of the first one. I tried to do it yesterday, and technically our work is due 24 hours before the first class, before that week's class. Well, yesterday was week 1. I just got home late Monday night from my trip, and I had emailed the professor saying that, I was going on this trip, that I was going to try to get it all done, but it could be that I would need like a little bit. I'd have it done before class, but maybe not like a full 24 hours before class, since I was on a plane at the point that it was due. And I was a little surprised. The professor was like, thanks for letting me know, get it done as soon as you can, not like have a great trip or anything. And so I did get everything done while I was on the retreat, I thought. And then I double checked the syllabus yesterday as I was like re-establishing life back here, and I missed the first quiz and the program locked me out. So I, sent an email to see if she'll unlock it for me to try it, but I just feel like I've literally never asked for an extension in this whole program, and if I miss this one quiz because of that, because the one time I took this big trip, I'll be pretty irritated. But other than that, the class went well. It's a small class of just 7 people, And several of the people in that class have taken a class with this professor before, so they chose to take, the class again, so that's a really good sign. I'm hoping that it will be okay. The live session was fine. It's just that quiz situation that I'm like a little stressed out about. So definitely a little overwhelmed by school and just the busy internship day. So I'll keep updating as I can, and yeah, see you later. So it's a good thing I looked at my calendar, because I actually was wrong about my day. I have a 9 o'clock, a 10 o'clock, and an 11 o'clock. That was all correct. But I also do have a 12 o'clock appointment. And then I actually have my own therapy at 1, so it's still like a back-to-back day. It's actually, and I don't have that break that I thought I did. But I think I had maybe tomorrow mixed up with what was going on for part of it. I kind of merged Wednesday and Thursday into one. So yeah, busy day. Busy day. There's so much. All right, well, I'm 2 visits down this morning, and then I was about to log on for my 11 o'clock supervision that I was talking about, but the supervisor had to cancel because they had a issue with one of their own kids. And so I'm kind of relieved, because I was feeling kind of tired, and like, oh my gosh, 5 back-to-back Zooms like all day is kind of a lot. I don't think I've had many days where, if any, where I've ended up having that. So I get a break now, which will be nice. So I'm gonna take a break, maybe eat some lunch. Y'all, I am so exhausted. It's Thursday evening. I had 3 visits plus supervision today. And then our evening activities, I took 2 of my kids to tumbling, and every night my husband and I have wanted to actually spend time together and watch TV. We haven't really gotten to do that since I got home from England on late Monday night, and every night I've fallen asleep when I was putting down the kids, and tonight he's going to bed. So I was saying how tired I've been this week, and there's so much work in this research methods class to be done that I am trying to get through some of the weekly async. And I'm just tired, y'all. I think I just finished. Did I finish this? Yeah, I think I finished this 7-minute video. I don't know how much is left, but I'm tired, y'all. This has been an exhausting week. Smile, wave. Hi.
Come on.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's up, that guy?
So I thought it would be fun to do a little unpacking video, since I didn't get to do my packing video the way I wanted. But because my microphone and tripod is missing, I don't know exactly how this is going to go, but we're going to try. Let me set you up somewhere and I'll show you what I've got here. All right, so for now, I think this will work. So my personal item bag on the plane was this Lavuk backpack. I bought it specifically for the trip, several months ago, so I've actually been using it as a work bag too, and it's worked really well. So in this front pocket, I just had some pads, and I think in here, it's funny, I've already kind of forgotten, I had my bag that I took to go in the seat pocket of the airplane, so that mostly everything I needed, I didn't even have to go in my personal bag to get. It was just already in the seat back pocket during the flight. And so in here, I had a little kit. This just has Band-Aids and lip balm and flossers and these little wisp toothbrushes that I did use on the overnight flight. And then I think I kept my AirPods in here and a couple other little bits and bobs in this little kit. And then I had a charging cord, a pen, and some cough drops. I did take the Kindle, although I did not actually use it. That ended up being not something I used. Some tissues. I did bring an extra gallon size bag in case I wanted it for like trash on the plane, but I didn't end up using that either. This was just a little bit of moisturizer. On the way back, this was actually my only liquid. And Heathrow Airport, I had heard, is super strict on liquids, and they are, and they actually hand you the bag, and they want all of your stuff to fit in the bags that they give you. So I actually ended up checking my suitcase, and so I put most of my liquids in there so I wouldn't have to deal with that. And another charging cord. Wet Ones hand wipes, did use these. Gum for takeoff, and Clorox wipes I did use in the bathroom. More cough drops, and then this was a little headphone jack that plugged into my phone that I thought I would be able to use the headphones that they gave me on the flight if I wanted to actually listen to my phone and not just the in-flight entertainment, but actually the plugins were actually different. It wasn't the standard one, at least on the flight there. On the way back was a little different. And then this was just where I put my like daily medications. So the medications I wanted to take on the flight, which I took, and then Advil. And so this is what I would carry around with me and make the medicine accessible, and more cough drops. So that was my little in-flight bag. This is where I had big medicines. Now, obviously, I did not need all of this. The Tums I didn't even use, so this ended up just adding weight. I did want a lot of Advil because I walked a lot and was really sore, and I took a lot with me. And then I had heard international trips that you should keep your medications in their original containers. I don't know if it would have been a problem. It was kind of a pain because my containers are kind of big, but I had 2 more bottles in here, and I just put that in. It's like a zipper bag that is pretty big right there. So I put that down there, and then I put my in-flight bag there. I had another water bottle bag that was packed in my suitcase on the way there, but on the way home it just kind of ended up, and that had some pads and things because I did unfortunately have to deal with that on the trip. And then this is a little USB. I actually think this is to a charging port that is connected to the bag that I don't use. And then my 5-year-old had given me a little takeaway. And then I did have compression socks in here. I had an umbrella at one point, but I moved that to my suitcase for the way home. So that's what I took in my personal item bag. Something else that I had already unpacked that I had in there was this little bag for a lot of the cords that I needed for the whole trip, as well as my little travel adapter So put those back in there. So full disclosure, I have unpacked a little bit already, just the things that I needed as the week has gone on, since it is now Sunday and I got home Monday night. But I did use my new Quince suitcase. Now it is all scuffed, honestly, just from being on this table, but I will use a magic eraser. You can see, like, I can actually wipe it off. So it's very, very easy to clean up, and it holds up. It held up great. It moved really well. This is kind of a dupe on the Away suitcase. It's from Quince, and it's a lot more affordable. So here's kind of roughly how I had it packed. In here, I had some souvenirs that I have now given to the kids. I also had some souvenirs in the grooves under. But this is really nice because it's a nice compression panel, so you can really squish everything down. And then I did have an empty packing cube since I had clean clothes that are now dirty. And then this is all the stuff that I did not necessarily wear. So I did overpack a bit because I just wasn't sure what I was going to need. Even though I tried to be intentional about what I packed, I still overpacked, but really not by as much as it looks like. So this was one shirt that I didn't end up wearing. Now this is a dress I did wear, but because it's wool, merino wool, it's actually a great travel thing. So I used this as kind of like my hanging out in the hotel room dress. So I did wear that. It just doesn't necessarily have to be washed right away. I think I might have worn these pants once, so I probably will wash these. Then I had a robe that I did not use. The only reason I took it is because I used it a lot on the trip I went on immediately before this, because that place had a hot tub and I loved having my robe. And so I thought, oh, maybe I'll like my robe in England, but I didn't actually use it. And then I have an extra pair of pants that I did not wear. So really, the only things I didn't wear, I had one extra outfit. Then I have some random dirty socks. And then this is funny. I actually didn't wear this, and I bought it for this trip specifically because it's like this sweater blazer that I think is so cute. I just felt like it would be very like proper British of me, but it was actually a little too warm for it, and it's actually quite thick. There we go. There's the buttons. It's actually quite thick and doesn't pack all that well. So truth be told, I think I had this in my personal item on the way there, in case it was really chilly when I got there, and I don't know that I didn't end up wearing it, so it was kind of a waste in my suitcase. And then this suitcase comes with a nice laundry bag that snaps on. Right here, you can keep it in this little pocket here, and then it has a snap right there, so you can just keep it attached if you want. But I used it to just kind of shove. So this is all my dirty clothes and the things that I did wear. I also brought this shoe bag that I had my Keens in. I think I maybe only wore my Keens once in the hotel room. I really only needed the pair of shoes that I wore, which was my sneakers. It doesn't hurt to have an extra pair. So that was the only other thing in this side. All right, so here is the other side of the suitcase. You've got a zipper with 2 pouches. And here I have a packing cube that is kind of long and skinny and has unworn underwear because I brought some extra. And then in here, all right, this I definitely wore and definitely needs to be washed. In here, I had a bunch of pads, and I also had like a little rinse bottle. So I had this all just kind of like that. Now this thing here is a packable puffer jacket because I misunderstood the weather reports and thought it was going to be like 20 degrees. But it was like 20 degrees, I think, Celsius, not Fahrenheit. So this was a total waste.
It's very short.
Tiffany from the future here. I never did a outro for this video, so thanks for coming along on this week in the life. At the beginning of my quarter, I'm now getting to the end of the quarter, so it's been kind of cool to look back and kind of watch this from the beginning. So if you made it this far, make sure you like and subscribe because we should be friends. Have a great day.